Good morning to everyone. So this time I will demonstrate on how to create a normalized table, but before that we should first create our parent tables. So for me, I will create at least three parent tables. So to create, use the command create table, then tbl, the name of your table, of your parent table. So I will name it as college. Then the field names is college, college ID. Then let's say int, not null. Then we will set this as our um, primary key. Then auto increment. So auto increments, which means that um, the system will automatically fill this column of the cell. So college. Then let's go to the next line, which is the college code. College code, and then varchar, let's say 20, then not null. Then the next one is for the college, then varchar, let's say 50, 50, then not null. Then don't forget to terminate with the semicolon. Now let's create another parent tables. So create a table, then your name of your parent table. For me, I will name it as tbl course. Then the field name, I will course ID, name it as course ID, I should say. Then let's say int not null. Then we'll set this also as our primary key in this table, and then also on auto increment, auto increment. The next line is the course code, then varchar, let's say 20, then not null. And the next one is for the course. So course, let's say varchar 50, then not null. So once you're done, press the parenthesis and terminate. Now let's create for the last our last parent table, which is for the tbl major. So to create, is the command create again, then create table tbl major. Then your field names, major ID, then int not null. Then we'll set this also in this table as our primary key. Then auto increment, then the last one is for the major. Then major, let's say varchar 50, then not null. So once we are done, we may now create our table for the tbl students, or our main table. Now let's create our table for the tbl student. So create table tbl students. Then there are our field names, student number, then let's say varchar 20, then not null. We will also set this as our primary key, then the next one, let's say last name, then varchar let's say 50, then not null, and next one, let's say first name, then varchar 50, then not null, and the next one is for the middle name, varchar 50, then not null. So this time we will add extra tables to connect our parent tables from this for this table. So let's add for the college ID, then int not null, then the next one is for the course ID, then int not null, and the last one is for the major ID, then int not null. So this time the college ID, the course ID, and the major ID we should not set as auto increment, so that we can choose the data set is stored into our parents table, which is for the TBL college, and the TBL course, and the TBL major. So now we will let's create our foreign keys. So to create a foreign keys, foreign key, and then specify the table, your parent table. Specify the parent table, which is for the college, TBL college, I should say, TBL college, and then college ID, we should parentheses, add the open parentheses, and then college ID, and then references or referring to the course ID, references, the college ID, I should say, college ID. Now let's do the next one for the course. So I will just edit my statement. So TBL course, and then course ID. So course ID, then referring to or references, then for the course ID, then for the last one I will just edit my statement again for the major. So TBL major, and then major ID, the major ID, and then referring to the major ID, references, major ID. So once you're done, close the parentheses, and then terminate with a semicolon. So see, so it's okay. So now let's describe our table. So this TBL students, So as you can see here, the table, the set number set as our primary key, and then on the bottom, the college ID, the course ID, and the major ID set. So instead of primary key, it says that multiple, which means that they are the foreign keys. So if we input data in these three fields, make sure that the data the data should be on the appearance table. So for example, in the college ID should be if 1. So in the TBL college, in the college ID, there should be one, or it should be the college ID on the number 1 should contain the data set. So that's all, and thank you.